have you ever walked into a room and felt the air change just because of one person? Your heart races, your skin tightens, and for a second you forget where you are. It feels like magic, but it's not. Most people call it chemistry. They smile, they scroll past, and never ask why. But you didn't scroll, you stayed. And that already makes you different. Because what you're about to hear is not just another cliche about love. It is knowledge distilled from decades of psychology, philosophy, and human experience. Wisdom that would take you hundreds of hours, thousands of pages, and dozens of books to uncover, but here you'll see it in minutes. This is not just information. This is transformation. Picture this: a crowded subway at rush hour, the metallic screech of wheels, the sharp smell of iron and dust, strangers pressed shoulder to shoulder. And yet, through all that noise, your eyes lock onto someone. You don't know their name, their story, or even if you'll ever see them again. But something inside you whispers, that's the one. Why does that happen? Why does a stranger suddenly feel like destiny? The ancient Greeks gave us a warning through the myth of Icarus, the boy who built wings of wax and feathers and flew too close to the sun. He wasn't carried by wisdom, but by desire. Attraction can lift you higher than you've ever felt, but it can also burn your wings if you don't understand it. So here's my promise. Stay until the end, and you will discover the hidden truth about attraction. A truth that can either free you or destroy you. And here's the twist no one tells you. This is where the danger begins. Why do we fall for people we know are wrong for us? Why does the heart chase the very flame that burns it? Attraction is not always about who they are. It is often about who you once were. Psychologists call it the mirror effect. The other person becomes a reflection of your hidden self, your unfinished story. Think of a mirror in a dark hallway. You don't just see the glass, you see the shadows behind you. That's what happens when someone lights up your desire. You're not falling for them, you're falling into your own shadow. Imagine a boy who grows up with a father who is never satisfied. No matter how hard he tries, the words, "I'm proud of you," never come. Years later, as an adult, he meets someone who withholds affection, who gives love only when he chases. And suddenly that person feels like destiny. But it isn't love, it's the wound, replaying itself, begging to be healed. And here's the dangerous truth. The more you chase it, the stronger it becomes. The shadow feeds on your pursuit, and what feels like passion is often a trap. So ask yourself, when you're drawn to someone, is it love, or is it the echo of an old wound? Love can be a garden, but sometimes it becomes a battlefield. Not because two people are enemies, but because each carries invisible wounds that collide like swords. History warned us with the legend of the Sirens. Sailors at sea heard their sweet, irresistible voices and steered their ships toward the sound, only to be shattered on the rocks. Attraction can feel the same. Hypnotic, divine, like music written just for you, until you realize it's pulling you into ruin. Psychology has another name for this: repetition compulsion. The unconscious tries to restage an old wound, hoping for a different ending. So you fall again and again, not for the person, but for the pain they represent. Think about it. A woman who grew up unseen by her father may find herself drawn to men who withhold affection, not because she loves the coldness, but because her shadow whispers, maybe this time he'll choose you. But he won't, because he isn't her father, and this isn't healing, it's repetition. Artists have revealed this truth for centuries. Van Gogh painted the sky not as it was, but as it felt. Fiery, chaotic, overwhelming. Attraction through the shadow works the same way. It isn't reality. It is the storm of your inner chaos painted onto someone else's face. And here's the brutal moment of clarity. You are not addicted to them. You are addicted to the wound they carry for you. The battlefield isn't between you and them. The battlefield is inside you. But every battlefield hides a lesson. And in the battlefield of attraction, the lesson is this: you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. This is the golden principle. I call it the silent mirror rule. The people who captivate you are not random. They are mirrors, quietly reflecting the wounds you still carry. So how do you break free? 3 simple moves. First, a small act today. The next time your heart races for someone, pause. Instead of asking, how do I get them? Ask, what part of me are they showing me? That one question changes everything. Second, a weekly practice. Journal your triggers. Write down every moment of obsession, jealousy, or longing. Over time, patterns will appear. The same shadows wearing different faces. And once you see the pattern, you can break it. Third, a new lens for life. When you meet someone new, don't just test the spark, test the peace. Real love doesn't leave you restless at night, doubting your worth. It grounds you, it steadies you, it makes you feel safe. As Tolstoy once wrote, the strongest warriors are patience and time. Love born from wholeness is not a storm, it's a sunrise. Quiet, steady, undeniable. And if you've made it this far, congratulations. You now hold a truth that most of the world will never see. You are among the rare few who dare to look into the mirror instead of running from it. But the journey doesn't end here, because there is a deeper shadow, one that hides not in love, but in power. And in the next chapter, we will unlock it. So let me leave you with this question. Do you fear your Icarus, burning by desire, or your own Plato's cave, living in shadows, never seeing the light? Remember this echo: you don't attract what you want, you attract what you haven't healed.